In August 2021, Israel announced that it was starting a third phase of vaccinations, a booster shot. Since then, the USA and other European countries followed suit, and now some countries are even on their fourth shot. In this video, we're going to try and answer the question if we really need these booster shots. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, and let's get started. Now, some vaccines last a lifetime. Take the yellow fever vaccine, for example. Then you have vaccines against measles and polio, which you take 2 shots in childhood and you're set for life. Then there's tetanus, which may require multiple vaccinations, especially if you are ever exposed. So really, what determines if a vaccine is a single, double, or multiple dose? To answer that question, we really need to go back to how vaccines work. For many vaccines, we take a harmless part of the virus, expose it to the body, and then the body generates antibodies and antigens which hang around, so that when the real virus comes along, it is already prepared and is able to mount a quick defense against it. So now let's go back to our original question. How do we determine whether a vaccine is a single, double, or multiple shot type vaccine? Well, there are 3 underlying reasons that need to be considered. The first reason has to do with the immune status of the individual. Is a person immunocompromised? Do they already have a weak immune system? What this means is that they will require more trainings to be able to have an immune system that's as effective as a healthy person. And we saw this with COVID, right? We saw that those who were immunocompromised, the elderly and the sick, who were having to get vaccinated first. Now, the additional shots may not stop them from getting sick again, but it reduces disease severity, transmission of infection, and there are less cases of death. The second reason has to do with time. How quickly is the body able to mount a defense even after being exposed to the vaccine? Now, in most cases, what you find is that the body prepares all these antibodies, and then over time they die out. And when the real virus comes along, the body starts a race against time. Does it get the antibodies ready to destroy the virus before the virus is able to cause disease? For vaccines such as against the yellow fever, the levels of the antibody just stay really high. So the virus, if you ever get exposed, doesn't really have the chance to take effect. The race never even begins and the virus has lost. Now, the strength of the antibodies varies, and there are various factors that contribute to this from person to person. For example, age and also health status, and something that is usually not considered is the medications that the individual is on. All of this can affect the level of antibodies that are produced and how long that they last. So, the third reason are mutations. Now, viruses mutate a lot, and if they continuously mutate, then you start getting different variants. And the variant is really different from the original virus, it becomes a whole new virus by itself. And this means that the antibodies are no longer effective. Once again, we see this with COVID, all these variants which are raising concern. Thankfully, it appears that the same vaccines are just as effective against the different types of variants that are coming along. Now, a poor vaccine coverage all across the board will really enable the virus to mutate, because then it affects more people, has more time to then mutate, and the chances of a really strong or potent type of variant coming out then increases. What this means is that until we have a high vaccine coverage across the whole world, nobody is really safe. Alright, thank you for listening. As always, if you like this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button. Click here for our video on long COVID, and then you can click here on our video which answers the question if the Omicron variant is a bit more dangerous to children. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Until next time.